Yeah, so found out like 40 minutes before the game, so kind of didn't really know what was happening until the lead up, but kind of knew JB was going to be so, but I was ready. Obviously had a bit of nerves going into it, but once got in there, it was just another game of basketball. Yeah.
Michael.
Austin, things have been kind of uneven since you've gone to the bench. I guess, what did it feel like to see the shots fall, and what do you feel like you could bring to this bench lineup when you are hitting shots like this?
Yeah, obviously a few rough games. It happens. Obviously, don't want those games, but to bounce back tonight and see a few shots go down and kind of get a good win and see other guys contribute too was really cool. And just come off the bench, it doesn't faze me. Kind of bring a scoring punch, and the coaches are really pushing me to be aggressive and hunt shots out there. So just going to keep doing that and doing the best I can to help out as what I can do off the bench.
Jim.
Braden and Austin, if you could both take this one. It's more of a bigger picture question than it is a tonight question, but has this taken a little bit longer than you expected to click this season, just to get kind of where you want to be?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's taking too long. I think it's just kind of how things are now with Portal. We have so many new guys that not everything's just going to go so well at the beginning. Obviously, you want to play your best ball in March, so we're getting the kinks out now. Obviously, there's other teams that are playing great basketball. They figured it out early. But what I see in practice every day, I'm not too worried with what we got. I know we're going to figure it out, and like I said, we'll play our best basketball in March when needed.
Yeah. We'll get a question here in a minute. I'm sorry, I don't know your name.
For Hayden, as someone from a foreign country, I'm just curious to know, does the environment over here automatically raise your level, or do you have to create your own energy?
I mean, yeah, I guess the environment here is pretty different from back home, but I've played in environments like this before, so I'm kind of used to it, but the energy also comes from your teammates as well, so I think we do a pretty good job of that.
Michael?
Brandon, similar to Austin, it's been a while since you've connected on a field goal, and obviously you missed the last game. So what were you dealing with that you missed the last game, and I guess what did it feel like to see some shots fall again?
I had a little hip thing. It wasn't bad. Just strained it a little bit. Got through that, obviously. It felt good to get back out there, obviously. See a couple shots going is always nice. The other games obviously wasn't hitting, but I'm never going to get down on myself because I know the team needs me to hit shots. So, I mean, obviously it's always nice to get a game to boost your confidence, especially we're about to go into conference. It's big.
John?
For whoever wants to take it, to have 25 assists on 29 made field goals, kind of what was going right for you guys from a ball movement standpoint?
Rook's got it.
Can you give it to him?
Yeah, I guess that we're a good team of finding each other, and yeah, we really emphasize on getting into the paint these past few weeks. So that's bound to happen. Getting assists, like getting into the paint and kicking it out, and we're a really good 3-point shooting team. So yeah, I feel like that's bound to happen.
Yeah.
Austin, tonight felt like maybe one of your stronger all-around games. How has your approach maybe shifted over these last handful of games?
Just believing in myself, kind of having confidence, and I feel like the last couple of games I was playing a little timid, not myself, and kind of getting in the gym again. Kind of that little break kind of was good for me to get in the gym with. I was getting a lot of shots out with Brad Davison, and I think that's important to just get back in the gym and keep working. BC was just talking. Me and BC came and shot last night, actually for the first time in a while. So we shot well last night too. So maybe we should start doing that before every game. But no, I felt good tonight for sure.
Evan?
For Braden, what has Zach just been doing in practice the last month? I guess force his way into the rotation here.
Obviously he had the opportunity because he didn't know what I was going to do this game, and obviously with JB down, so it was the opportunity was there. But I mean, in practice he's competing hard. I mean, he was on the scout team for the first, obviously what has it been, 2 months? I don't know what it's been, and he's been proving he can hold his own against us. And honestly, if you see what he's doing there, you're like, dang, like he should be a starter. I mean, he's putting 20 points a scout. I mean, he's really doing his thing in there. So I mean,
He's cooking us.
Yeah. He definitely deserved it. I'm glad he got the chance. So I'm definitely excited to see what he can continue to do and how he moves forward.
Michael?
Austin, you mentioned the idea behind you going to the bench was to provide a little bit of a scoring punch. What's been stressed to you guys, especially after a game where you guys had 2 points off the bench? Like, what's been stressed to you guys about the importance of what the bench provides and a good bench can do for this team going forward?
No, 100%. I think depth's important in any basketball team, and to have guys come off the bench and contribute. Jack Janicki was having a little funk too. He had 9 assists and not 1 turnover. Kind of just building that confidence off tonight's game and knowing that we can do it. Like, you know, we're basketball players at the end of the day, and we're here for a reason. The coaches brought us in for a reason. They believe in us, so just kind of believe in ourselves and bring that punch off the bench and kind of give the starters a little bit of a break when we can and continue to contribute.
Obviously, for us, I thought a lot of good things we, have been talking about, specifically taking care of the ball better, and to play the second half only have two turnovers, and then 25 assists with 29 baskets is a sign that when we move the ball, we're hard to guard, as probably anybody in the country is, and when we don't, we become much easier. So I thought there's a lot of good things. Obviously, Janicki's 9 assists. Thought he got back to playing how he can play, and we need him to play, and the energy he can bring from his role. I thought obviously Rapp got some good looks and was aggressive. And when he has, 7 rebounds, that tells me, as I told him the other day, against Villanova, he has only 2 shots and no rebounds. That's a non-aggressive mindset. So we need him continue to be and grow in that more of aggressive mindset. And obviously good to get Braden back on the floor. And I thought Kinziger, I wanted to play him, and I decided that over the last couple of weeks that he had put himself in position as getting better. Really, since we've come back from San Diego, I think he's really got his feet underneath him and just keeps getting better and better, and gives us another dimension in the backcourt. So this group needs to continue to do it by committee, and it was good to see a lot of guys step up.
Nick?
Greg, you talked about a lot of those guys in there, but like Janicki's 9 assists, Zach obviously contributing, Ozzy's best game really in a while. Just how is it kind of exemplified tonight, when they are creating good looks for others, and how is that going to be so imperative going into conference season?
Well, all different. Janicki's, he got on the floor a year ago because of his energy and his hustle and all those intangible things that he can do. And we've had, many guys over the years that have been in that role, that they necessarily don't have to, their job is not to score a lot. And if the opportunity presents it, great, but they have to bring some of those other things, the hustle, the energy, the boost when we need it, the little spark, and the rebounding. And I thought Jack had, for whatever reason, maybe it was, I know his finals load was immense. If he just seemed not, like he'd gotten away from what he had done to put himself in position. So that's what, just trying to get him back and get him out of his funk a little bit, and hopefully this helps him get out of that. And who else did you ask about? Kinziger. I'd say the kid's a tough sucker. Love how he plays. He's just a true Badger through and through, and brings some toughness and some energy, and he's a fierce competitor. So I think you can never have enough of that. Which one else did you ask about? Rapp? Yeah, he makes shots, but aggressiveness, it's a great stat the other night. Like I said, you take 2 shots and get 0 rebounds in 17 minutes. That's he needs to be aggressive, because he has to continue to learn to ignite his game in other ways than just threes. It's the rebounding and getting knocked around and score at the rim on a ball screen, and then the threes become easier, and he's more relaxed, and he's got to hunt them more. We got to do a better job of putting him in position to find them, because he definitely can shoot it.
John?
With Hayden Jones getting his first career start, kind of what stood out to you about him, and with JB, when did that injury happen, and what's his prognosis looking like?
I don't know on questions 2 and 3. It's Hayden was, again, another guy that I want to continue to get more minutes based on what I've seen in practice. I think he has a really good feel for the game. I got to get him to stop dribbling to the right wing and picking the ball up first possession of every game. But I think he just has a really good feel and size, and and put him on the wing more than maybe with the ball in his hands. But his feel within what we do is really good. He rebounds well for his size, and he was going to play a lot tonight regardless of where JB was at. So I think JB would be fine. It was just I haven't talked to my trainer. He just told me right before the game he tried to warm up a little bit with our pregame stuff and didn't feel he wanted to where he was able to go. So we move on and get it was a good opportunity for Hayden.
Michael?
Obviously, a lot of attention goes to the stars, but how important is bench depth and bench reliability to this team going forward? And what is your expectation for this group?
Yeah, we've got to continue to develop, and guys got to continue to meet as I said the other night, the standard that, for example, Nolan set. How he played, and that's they know those, especially those younger big guys. I mean, you're looking at 2 freshmen and a sophomore with Belauskas, Garlock, and Rapp. They see what it takes and how you have to play, and we have to continue to help those guys develop, and push them along. And I'm not real patient with them. I've been pretty persistent in my demands of them, and I thought Garlock did some good things. He'd been practicing well. It's just we're trying to dig ourselves out of the hole Friday night against Villanova, and the 1 minute is not indicative. It's not an indictment on him. It's just we were trying to scratch and claw our way back after a crappy first half. So, but I think he, at that size with how he moves and runs, and he's getting more and more comfortable. So he's got to continue to push and force guys to grow and mature and play to the standard. And as I told them, I'm not dropping the standard to meet where they at. They've got to improve and be consistent enough to reach it.
Evan?
Coach, you touched on Zach, but I was just curious if you could kind of expand on what he had been doing in practice to maybe force his way into the lineup, and did the last couple games impact your decision to burn that red shirt at all, just looking for a spark in any type of way?
I don't look at it as burning a red shirt. I mean, that was an open conversation consistently from the time of the very first game. And I think what I've seen is him continually, like I mentioned before, from the time we got back from San Diego, early in the year, he, much like Hayden, he wasn't quite ready. But as practices have unfolded and we get more and more reps, just how competitive he is, and he's gotten better at the speed of the game, how to play off 2 feet, how to read angles. He's a little bulldog defensively. So yeah, there was just a lot of positive things. He earned his way into getting, regardless of where anybody else was. But obviously Carrington's injury, and he'd been banged up or has been banged up, not knowing exactly. He hadn't practiced in a week, so I didn't know how tonight would go. But it more than anything, Zach has done. It's not because of a deficiency from somebody else per se, as much Zach has earned. He's a good player, and he's going to be a really good player here. He's, like I said, that competitive toughness that he brings. We've had so many guys that have helped over the years, and when they're young, has helped bring some of that too. And I think it's really important that you have those guys in your program, specifically guys that are homegrown. He bleeds Badger red through and through, and you can tell it when he plays, when he practices. Schneid's raves about him in the weight room. He wins all the time in the 3x3 stuff we do. He's always the best player in that. He competes every single day, and he doesn't have bad days. And I felt he can help us, and he's earned it. So we continue to find ways to get him on the floor.
Right here, and then Jim, and then Cam.
Coach, I'm from Canada, and everything here is foreign to me. I'm very curious to know, at a program like this, where the expectations are high every night, even in the holiday season, how are you able to maintain a consistent standard with your players?
That's a good question. Where are you from in Canada? Toronto? Okay. I think, just the expectations come from the tradition that we have. We've had a long tradition. Before I even got here, this program was going and being built in the right direction, and to be able to have the consistency, I think the players understand what is important, and the reason they come here, they want to be a part of something bigger than themselves, and they want to be a part of something special. And that's it. Our best teachers are always our older guys, and usually when players come here, they understand the history of the program and the pride that is in the program, and how important it is to continue to uphold that and continue to, make the alums and the fans and everybody has been associated or is associated with the program proud. And so they take that, really seriously. And so you have like-minded guys that are about the team. And our coaching staff does a great job of messaging that. Most of my coaching staff played for us at one point or another here, so I think that's really important of how they understand the history. They are extremely invested in this program. It's bigger than a job to them because this is their pride and joy. And they've sat in those guys' seats just like when they were younger. So it's a lot of things that go into it. And then obviously we get a few days here where they get a chance to either get with family in different places. I got 4 international players. None of them are going back to their own countries. They're either going with friends or meeting family somewhere, or being able to. Our staff will take care of, make sure they're not alone during the holidays. So we try to look out and take care of each other. It's bigger than just basketball. I think it's an important part of us helping young men grow through this part of their life, and obviously the winning and that's really, really important. But you can teach life and help them prepare them for what's coming next through, I think, how we operate the program day in and day out, year in and year out, and the expectations. Just like when they get a job, they're going to have expectations, right? They're going to work for a boss. So understanding that accountability and responsibility is something they take really serious and do a really good job of. That's
Jim.
a really good question because I've never had one like that before. Jim,
Wow,
you got to follow that one up.
Tough act to follow. You talked over Milwaukee after the Oklahoma scrimmage about how you like this team's ceiling. I'm just curious where you think that these guys are on that journey, and do you feel? Are you still optimistic that the ceiling's pretty high for this team and it can reach it?
I do. We're not where we need to be, and there's what are the reasons for that? I looked at last year's team, and people have reminded me of it. 7 of the 8 had returned, and you bring in your 8th guy, and he's a first-team All-American, so that's a pretty good. If you're going to bring in one guy that's going to play a lot, it's a pretty good guy. It's kind of the flip reverse this year. So it's been some of learning on the fly and some of completely understanding the hows and whys within, but also how hard you have to play, and that's something we've had to address and demand, and I think we've gotten better in that regard, but we're not ringing the bell all the time. But some of the newer guys, whether they're transfers or freshmen, just understanding to compete at the highest level, how hard it is, and how hard you have to play, and how hard you have to practice, and just like I said, I'm not real patient, so I want them to grow up and reach the point yesterday. But I think that's the only way they're going to get there is our staff continuing to demand that they and our older guys that have had some experience. We don't have a lot of them. There's only 3 that have played, but we got to grow up and mature and get better fast. And that's the world we're in right now. I've had a lot of coaches tell me it's kind of like being a junior college coach, where you got to snap together a roster year in and year out and get them. We're not used to that here, right? You're looking at having guys for 3, 4, 5 years. Sometimes there's a 6 if there's a COVID or a medical red shirt or whatever it may be. And this has kind of been the complete opposite. So it's been new for me too, having this many new guys and having to rely on the new guys. And that's where, we've just gotten to a point where, as a staff, we said we're drawing the line and we're demanding that they reach where we need to be, not us meet them where they are. They've got to up the ante, and they know They know. It's just it's new to them, and we've got to keep pushing. I think we've shown signs, but you're never where you want to be, and part of that's you're never satisfied because I know what's coming and I know where this group can get to and needs to get to. And again, that's where some of my impatience comes from. But they've responded well when we've taken a bump. They've responded well and keep scratching and clawing and getting better and learning on the fly. And that's what we got to keep pushing.
You said the second half against Villanova kind of showed these guys what the standard should be and what they kind of have to do. Do you feel like they held up to that standard tonight for the full 40 minutes? And is it maybe a game that you can sort of build off of going forward?
Well, I think there were some good things. There's always going to be things in a game I'm going to find that I like and things that I don't like, So there'll be, I thought they did a decent job of adjusting. We adjusted some ball screen coverage in the first half. They were getting us on some short rolls. We were getting too extended on some hedging. We backed that off a little bit. And then we backed it off too much because then Adley started getting to the rim on us in the second half. So we had, turned the hedge back up a little bit more. So just them understanding that from a defensive standpoint, I thought we rebounded fairly well. We only have 2 offensive rebounds. There's we did some good things, but I'll pick the tape apart like I always do. The old saying is you never accept in victory what you wouldn't accept in defeat. So I will be just as critical of this tape as I was, Friday night's tape and pick it apart because that's my job to help them get better and continue to set expectations high and our older guys help our younger guys or new guys. I'm going to say younger guys, new guys reach and get to those expectations and play to their potential.
Final question for Coach Michael.
What have you heard about Nolan's status? Obviously going down late.
He was walking around. He didn't even know what happened. He said he's tried to get out of the screen and he doesn't. I haven't seen the film if he stepped on somebody, but he said he'd be fine. And so we'll get some time off here where he can, get himself feeling good again and fine. But he was about ready to be done anyway. I was ready to pull him, and but you got to keep playing because things happen. He gets tweak an ankle in the first 5 minutes or in the last 5, so he'll be fine.